All right. So, like I've mentioned, for this week, we've spoken about colors and we've spoken about typography. So, since the class is going to be very brief, we are going to just go through all we've done for this week, and then we can do it in the practical aspects. So, I have in our yesterday's class, I showed us how to create um textiles on our Figma board. So textile on our Figma board. So it's also the same method um of creating colors. So just like I showed yesterday, if you want to create a textile, you go to your local style and then you click on text to create a textile. So if you also want to create for color, you do the same also for color. So let's just say you want to create for color. We'll just create for only one. So let's just say that we want to create a a black a black color, a black color, and then this will be our text, our text. Then our black can just be, let me say 2 3, for example. So and then you create the style. So you can see here you have color styles, and below here you have up here you have text styles, and below here you have color styles. So for every color style that you create, is going to always be appearing here, just the same method of how we created our textiles. So for today, we'll try to use what we create yesterday to design a very simple mobile application, just a random design. So if you are trying to design an application, for example, a mobile application, and then you want to get inspiration, there's something we call mood board. So mood board is like is just like a board where you gather all your inspiration. So they say, for example, you want to design a mobile app that is a financial application. So there are different places where you can get your inspiration from for this for designs. We have places like Behance. We have places like Behance. We have Dribble. You can have Dribble too. So once you go to any of these websites, you can just get inspiration from thousands of people's designs already. So you want to design for a mobile app, you can just go to Dribble and then you search for mobile, and then different you can see different designs that already in existence. So while you are trying to search to get inspiration, you might see some designs that you might like. So that is the essence of creating a mood board. So for you to kind of correlate all the designs that meet what you're trying to design. So say you're trying to design a mobile app and then you come across this particular design, you could just copy it and then paste on your mood board. So so by the time you now want to now start designing, and then you can just go through your mood board to see how you have gathered thousands of different designs that you must have liked, and then you can now create your own from the scratch, or you can now have like a pattern that you want to use. So like apart from using Dribble, you can also use Behance. There are also some designs too that you can see on your Behance. Um, okay, let's go the So this is another website also. Once you log in or sign up, you'll be able to, let's just try to, I don't want any kind of delay. So you can also use this website also to look for, it's just the same pattern. You can see this Behance too. So if you want to search for a particular um design or something, you can search for it, and then you can see designs that relating to what you are trying to design. So the same thing with this. So as you are trying to search for different websites to get what you like, you'll be pasting everything that you have. So this is like a mood board. So apart from searching from this popular website too, you can also um look into live apps. Say you want to design, even if you want to design for a fashion a fashion application, you can still go to apps like Paystack or or Flutterwave. So kind of also draw inspiration from there. So while you are also going through those apps and then you screen grab your screen, you can still come to your mood board to paste all your correlation of your designs that you've liked. So this mood board is helpful when you start designing, so that you can, so it will ease up your starting from scratch process. You can just leverage on different people's design, but you don't have to copy anybody's design like back to back. But as a new designer, if you want to learn different, like you want to learn the tool Figma, it's always advisable to copy people's design. Like once you just go on Dribble and then you see any application or any design that you like, just screenshot it and design exactly like it. Don't even try to change anything. Just design exactly like it. So the more you try to design previous people's design, the more you can now be grounded on trying to design your own. So that is when your own inspiration now starts coming into play. I don't know why this particular website is loading and loading. So I've I've gone through this Dribble, and then I've seen a particular design that we can mimic for today's class. So um just to show you guys how you can use a typography. So for this very first one, let's just try to mimic this very first this this very first design I have here. This first screen, just this first screen. Maybe if we have time, we can go to the second screen. But as you are trying to mimic somebody's design, you're not supposed to post it on your, maybe on social media or something, so that this is your own design. You're just trying to learn how to use Figma and try to understand, how to, create your own font and all of those things. So when you now want to start posting stuff, you can now start changing a little bit of things on the design you're trying to mimic. So for this particular one, this is a mobile app. So of course we are going to get a mobile frame. So once we click on this frame that is below here, so let's say you want to use which one are we going to use? Let's say you want to use, okay, let's use iPhone 16. It's so long. Okay. Let's just say you want to use this iPhone, and then this screen looks like a dashboard. So we can just name it dashboard. And then um this background that is here. I wish I was able to get one that the background is white, but since we are just trying to learn how we've created our font styles, we'll just use what we've created on our design. So it's not really, so once you want to start designing, you can be designing applications that have white background. You don't like, it's not a must for you to put your background to be blue like this. So if we want to, okay, let us start with the text. We put in the text, and then um we want to get in. So this is not really looking like. So let's try to see if we can get something that will look like this. Okay, I think this is close. Then we create our two circles that is here. You go to the shapes. Then for you to create a a complete circle, so the width and the length will be the same. You hold down your shift and then you draw. So you can say 42. I'll try to be fast so we don't spend so much time. Then you duplicate it. Then if you want to get images too, a good place to also get images, you can go to pixels. So once you browse pixel.com, you can also get images on this website, or you can go to Unsplash. So this is Unsplash too, is another website where you can also get images of people. So if you are looking for images that has people, okay, you can just, I like this one. I'll just use it. And I paste inside my second. Then I can get my second image from pixels. So I browse for what I'm looking for. Then let's say, okay, let me just take this to avoid the. So you can see on this side, the first circle is on top. So if you want to bring this one on top, you click on it and then you bring to font. So it brings it to top. So we created our first line. So for this second one, we just duplicate the text and then we create it again. So this one is a much bigger text. So let's see heading. Someone saying something. So I don't know is better. Okay. So now this property is a different color from what we have here. So we just change it. And then if you want to use a color picker, you see this pointing tool here. You click on it and then you go to where you want to pick. And then you pick it. So the same thing with this. If you want to use a picker, you go to here too and you pick it. So let's now do our background color. I don't know why I don't like this background, but we don't have a choice. So we've picked the background color, and then notice that from this edge to this edge is kind of changing. There's a kind of a gradient color. So currently our frame background is one color. So if we want to maybe make this our frame to have two colors, like a gradient, is currently on solid. So this second option is gradient. The third one is image. That is if you want to put like an image in the frame, but you are trying to use gradient. So pick gradients, and then you can see is starting from top to bottom, but then our picture we have here, the gradient is from top left to bottom right. So we change this to start from top left to bottom right. So the first one, which is this first color here, is starting from here. We just pick that color. And then the second one here is going to the second side. So you can see is now kind of in line with what we have here. We are going to alter this our height of, so it's not too long. Then we now want to create these boxes that we have here.
No charging.
So
No charging.
someone's mic is unmuted.
No charging.
So your mic is unmuted.
No charging.
Okay. So we are trying to create these boxes that we have here. So we just go to our shapes and then we pick rectangle. So we create a very similar kind of rectangle and then we pick the color. So you can see this rectangle is not like this one. So this is the radius. So we try to increase the radius to look like it. And then you can now reduce it. So if you notice, all my elements are always starting from 16. There is no one that is some is 16, some is 18. So this one too, we also make it to be 16 for it to start from 16. And then we duplicate our rectangle. So this one is too short then. To avoid just try to get the -10. Very hard. So 175, okay. Let's use 175. All right. So this is the first rectangle. The second one is a little bit longer. All right. So our next text, we will try to create this dollar sign. That is too big because our last changing font was too big. So we can reduce it. Let's say this. Okay. This one is okay. Then we duplicate to create the second one. This is today. Then for the one. So let's try and be fast. So this is for the second one. Might not look exactly like it because I'm not really taking so much time in trying to design like all of it. So then for this second one, you can notice this line that is happening here. So let's just try to just duplicate it, this box, so that we can form the second one. And then this particular box, let's remove the radius at the bottom. So you click at um this icon that is beside the radius so that I can touch it, so that I can adjust this radius. This side is for this one here is for the top left of this rectangle. Here is the top right, here is the bottom left. So we want to remove the radius for the bottom left. We are trying to see how we can create this circle, this curve that we have here. So there are different ways you can do it. You can just take a line and curve it. But I want to work with this rectangle I already have. So if I double click on it, you can see this box on it. So I want my curve to start from here. My first curve. Let's play with this. Then we are trying to create a curve. Let's see. This is going to be the first time. And the second one. So you can see this curve is coming out here. You click on this curve, and then you are trying to form a curve with a particular line. I might not get exactly, but let's leave it like this. So you can see the curve is formed, and then we want this this line to be below it. So I'll just somebody saying something.
Can you that line again? I did not get what you did.
The line. Okay.
Yes.
All right, let me undo it. I think after this we'll just okay, I think by 7:30 I'll end class. Okay, let me just undo it back. Okay, I think from this place, this is just a duplicate of this initial. So on this, if I click on this rectangle once, it appears like this. So I double click on it so that I can work with the edges of this rectangle. So you can see how it's creating different points for me. So I already have I duplicated this rectangle and then I made it a little bit short. So I now adjusted the the bottom the of this rectangle. Here is for bottom left. So I move the border radius from that point. Here is from bottom right. I move the border radius so that it can be sharp edges. Then I now want to create a curve for this down part. I double click on it and then it's giving me points to work with. But I want to make a curve so that there will be a curve here, there will be a curve here, and there will be a curve here. So I'll just create add from here to here, I'll make a point. From here to here, I'll make a point. Then on this below part, it's already giving like once you double click on this rectangle, you can see is going to these icons are going to pop up. So I want to make a bend rule. So I'll use this bend rule icon and I click on it. Once I click on it, I come to where I want to curve and then I curve it. So if I want to curve up to, I can just go to that place and I curve it. But I'm working with down. So I'm curving just the place that I want to make a curve. And then it's curved already. It's not really looking like how I wanted it to look. And then it's curved already. So I hope we got that. But this is not exactly, but we cannot do it like this to save time. So if we now want to make this this ash background that we have. If we are working with a line, we can just make that line a background and then we are fine. But I want to create a background for this. I duplicate this this rectangle and then I bring it up. So this down one below is going to have this line color, and then I shift it so that it's going to be very close. So it can give me the line feel. You can see this is already giving me, looking like the line already. Then let's just duplicate this text we have here. Duplicate it to form the second one. I think this is more like up, or this is more like down. So this is for profits, and this is plus 1.3%. All right. Then we are done with this first one. So we can come down to create this third one here. I think we will need to make it longer. This is 11. Can make it wider. And then this box is still having a little bit of gradient. So we can also make it a gradient. And then make it to start from here and start from here. So this second one now is going to have this fill. And then we are done. So let's just duplicate this also and make it so then for this is looking like, okay, you can see this text is below this rectangle, so you have to bring it up. You click on the text and you click on bring to font, so it comes up. And let's say, since we are in Nigeria, let's just use the, so okay, then we can make the last rectangle we have here. We must not always make it exactly like back to back to say. We can always just touch a little bit of things. So this is linear, I'll make it solid. And then, okay, what's the time now? All right, we have a few more minutes to go. So for this one that is slant vertical, once you double click on it, you can just, once you discover on a text, you can see this rolling thing, this rolling symbol is already appearing. So you can roll. You can now rotate it. So as you're rotating it, if you're observant, this rotation is changing. So you can just come here and put 90 degrees. And then it's white. So we change this to white. Okay. So for this circle that we have here, what's this? I don't know. We can just create our circle and fill in any stuff that we want to. All right. So we've just kind of completed in a very subtle way, trying to use the fonts that we've created. So you can see all these fonts, they are all a particular font style that we've created. There is no one that is entirely new from what you've created. So that's the same thing with if you create for color styles, you will also use the colors. Okay, see this one I want to use for black one. I just click on black one and then it's implemented. To these icons, we already know how to get icons. But let's see if I can get icon. Where would I like to get this icon? Settings. All right. Um, might not use the exact icon. I'll just use any icon that will kind of just why is this thing? Let's use regular. Okay, this one. If I can just copy this thing and paste it. Uh, let's change this color. It's too black. This is an image. Oh, I have to start downloading. I don't have time for this downloading. Okay, let's download. So I've downloaded this font. I want to also download this one. So, so we can now go to this is an image, so I cannot work with an image and click on select. So let's go to recent. All right, SVG. So your icons have to be in SVG so that it will not be large for developers when they are trying to work. So let's just reduce this font to have like this type of feel. And then you can see we can now change the color. Let's just use any color. Yeah. Um, let's use 20. All right, it's placed on 16. So this second one, so let's reduce this to 20. So you know, like once they are trying to reduce either an image or a font, I want it to reduce proportionally. You have to click K on your you have to click on K on your keyboard so that as they are reducing it, it's reducing in the same proportion, the using the same proportion with the height. So I click on K and then I reduce it. And it's giving me problems. Let's reduce it to like 20. Same like the first one. So if you want to make sure that these two things are aligned, you highlight the two elements. And this first one here, align vertical. you click on it and then it's aligned vertically. So, are there any questions? So we can end for today's class. Is somebody saying something?
Some people are raising their hands.
Please just unmute and speak.
Evening, ma.
Okay, let me. Yeah, good evening.
Please, ma, I wanted to ask, in our design, I don't know, there's another part of the feed that looks like a deeper blue compared to the other one. Like, how will I explain? Like there
Like,
are two, ma?
like you mean like this down this side?
No, no, no. I mean, from the
No,
one
she's
you are
talking about the box they placed the design.
The what?
no, ma.
The box they placed the design in that first, like the
Okay,
one
this
you
one.
got for the mood board. Exactly, the one that is under it.
Yes,
That's just the plain design,
yes.
right?
We are just working. This is like a way of um this is like a way of trying to demonstrate a particular design. So we are just working with this frame that is that is just below, like this frame on top of the background. That is what you are working with.
Okay, ma. Okay.
Do you,
Well,
do you get what I'm saying? Like
yes, ma.
this frame here, that's what you are working with, not the background.
Okay, ma. Okay, thank you, ma.
Yeah.
Hi, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, please, you said if we want to reduce something proportionally, we should press on K. Is it Control K or just K?
Just keep.
Okay, thank you.
But I guess for Windows, it's to hold shift. Yeah, you can also hold shift, even if you are using Windows. Doesn't K work for Windows? K
Hey,
should work
work
for.
on Windows.
So yeah, even if there are two ways, you can click on shift, you can hold K.
Good evening, Jacinta.
Yeah, good.
Just confirm that you can hear me.
Problem yeah, I can hear you. Please give me a minute.
Okay.
Problem with giving you guys shortcuts is because I'm using another this thing. But you can always just browse shortcuts in Figma for your type of graphic. And then you can always get like this grouping element command G or ungrouping command plus shift plus G. You know, there are so many shortcuts you can use. Yeah, you can speak.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I was going to ask if somebody wants to actually do that background that you said we're not working on, how do they go about it? But then apart from that, I also wanted to say that we saw what you did, but the truth is, if I'll speak for myself, if you ask me to do the same thing, I honestly don't know if I'll be able to do it because I'm watching you. It's some of us are new to this whole thing. It's my first time, so I don't really understand. When you're working on it, you just tell us, okay, so you just do this, you just do this. So I don't even understand what you're doing and why you're doing it. Do you understand?
Okay.
I have been so I don't know if we're going to redo or we're going to retake because of the time and the
I
fact
said
that
it's
we
a
need to do
YouTube
the
channel now.
assessment.
People will go back to YouTube and follow more closely in their own pace.
Is someone saying something?
Yeah, she's talking about the recording, probably following the recording and watching it. But my point is, watching it is different. Recreating
Yeah.
it is different. But do I know why I'm doing what? Do I know why I'm doing this? Do I know if I have to recreate another design on my own? Like, I think the most important thing is learning the process, not just doing. I don't know, because another thing I've noticed is that different designers have different concept of doing the same thing. Like when you wanted to do that curve, you said there are many ways to do it. You wanted to do it by your own, you wanted to curve it. It could be other people who might probably use plugins, or I don't know. But the whole thing is, I don't know, I'm just saying that perhaps maybe in the next class, maybe because you were hurrying, maybe you would take your time and probably explain why you're doing some things, why you're taking some steps. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Some people understand this whole thing. They understand why they know why you're doing what you're doing. For some of us, we're entirely new to this whole thing. And sometimes it's good to have a background knowledge before you even watch YouTube videos to even understand the whole thing very well. And that's one of the reasons why we're taking this class, I guess. Sometimes, of course, we'll still do more research, watching other videos. But while we're in class, and the reason why it's interactive is to be able to ask questions and understand things better. So that even when we're watching videos, you already understand some concept and it's not so new again and so confusing. So thank you. This was nice. And it was beautiful to watch. Thank you so much.
Yeah, welcome. Okay, so I hear what you say. Okay, like this whole design thing, like I feel like don't just overthink it. Just take it one step at a time. And if you want to start designing, you can just start with very simple pages, like even as simple as login screen. And then you just go to on Dribble or Behance, and then you see one login screen that you like. Just come and do exactly what you are saying. Don't even try to create something from your head. Just do exactly what you are saying. And then all these tools that are here, like this, like Figma as a tool, you know, like to be very honest, when I started using Figma, or like in 2 years now, I've been using Figma. They were using a particular, it was not the same with what you are seeing now. They just released a new update, like say 2 weeks ago, or maybe like 1 week. This whole frame changed, and then it took me some days to be able to understand some different, like before, their former Figma does not have this below icons you have here. These icons were on the top, and I was already familiar with using Figma like that. But as it changed their whole layout, it now took me days to be able to understand where they have placed some icons and where they have not placed some icons. But because you people are not experts in design, you might not be able to even see that I'm also struggling using this Figma, because they released. Let me see if I can show you guys how the old Figma look like. Though it's kind of similar, it's not entirely so different like that. But is they kind of change how their layout looks like. And again, it's important for you to also know that for you to be a UI UX expert is not by how much you know how to use the Figma tool. By can you do what, do you even know what you are trying to design? Have you done your research? Is the research work good? So that is when you now want to start understanding how to use Figma tool. So you can see how this Figma is looking like. This top, this nav I have here is not down, it's up. Then you can see your pages and you can see this right bar. So it's kind of similar, but even on this right part, there are some things that they still changed. And then I was having a little bit of struggle locating where they initially put it. So this whole design stuff, that is why it's not very so advisable for you to be so keen on knowing a particular tool, because you can come to know tomorrow and see that they are even changed too. Or you can be working in a work and they will tell you to stop using Figma, that you should just start using Adobe XD. So for this tool, try to take it one step at a time. You just, if you, the more you use a tool, the more you get familiar with it. So don't even focus on trying to know how to use a particular tool or knowing how to. Just get the process, the design process right. Once you get the design process right, knowing how to use Figma is the second step. And the good thing that you can start with is just start um trying to try to start mimicking very simple design. This one I did here. I think from the comments I have gotten this now, I think it's a little bit complex. So you can just start with very simple design. And then as you are designing those simple ones, you keep on progressing. Keep on progressing gradually. So I don't know if I've answered your question, but in our next class, I think I can go through this again, or I can pick a second design so it doesn't get. I can pick another design again, and then we do it again. But I think next week is a new topic on its own. So my main aim of showing this was just to show you guys how to use the textiles I've created. But we will continue to design different interfaces together. So when you go home, try to design this on your own. It's one thing to watch, it's another thing to do it. And as you are watching, it might seem simple. So that is why it's good to use YouTube sometimes. Yeah, I was using YouTube to learn. Oh. Yeah, I can just go on YouTube and type how to design login screen. And then I watch, I pause, I come to Figma and try it. I go back again, I watch, I stop, I come to Figma and try it. So that's just the way of learning a particular tool. You just watch other people do it, and then if you are lucky that you are working in a workplace that you have senior designers, you can just shadow them and you learn from them. Do you get?
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you. I'm happy you said that, it's one thing to watch and it's another thing to do it, because while watching it, it looks fine. But if I could say I don't want to try the same thing now, it might be very difficult for me. But thank you very much for also stating that in the next class we might end up doing something else too.
Okay,
Thank
so you
you.
can just like try to do the same thing. Does somebody else have a question? I plan to end this class by.
Yes, yes, ma. I have a question. Good evening, class.
Yeah, good evening.
Can we hear me? Good evening, class.
Yes, good evening. Can
Good
you hear me?
evening.
All right. Yes, I hear now. My own question is centered on the design and duplicating a design. Now, if I want to make a design, I go online, I go on Behance, and then I pick a design, and I want to do that design. Maybe I like their color idea, or I like their layouts and all that, and then I want to do my own design. Do I have to like copy back to back like everything? Can't I just pick idea randomly? Because what we just did now, from the question they're asking, it doesn't have to be like this particular person's design. Because if I'm going to put it up that, oh, this is my design, because it's just like a photocopy, I copied everything entirely, I cannot actually call it my own. So my question is, can I just get idea from 2 3 different design and then just duplicate their own and make mine? So it doesn't have to be like it's totally somebody else's design.
Okay. Yes, of course you can. Like I said with beginning at the beginning of the class, I said you can have a mood board where you can paste all the designs that you like. And when you want to start your own design, you can now, get inspiration from. It can be thousands of pictures. I just pasted 3 because we are in a class. If you see my mood board when I'm trying to design an application, I can have thousands of pictures, not thousands, tens of pictures like pasted on my mood board. But then for new beginners, this is just like an advice, like I said. just be try to mimic other people's design. You're not trying to mimic it because you are trying to copy somebody's design. What you are doing while you're trying to design exactly like this is that subconsciously you are now understanding how to place different elements. You can see this particular circle, for example. You can see that this one, you just notice that I have to bring this circle up so that it can look like this one. And I have to try to align these two icons so that it can be vertically aligned. So you are subconsciously trying to also learn how to place elements correctly on your frame. That's the essence of trying to mimic people's design. It's not, you're not trying to mimic it so that you can claim that it's your own design. You are also, it's a learning process on its own. Just like the same way you can have for coding. Some senior developers, if they want to give their juniors, they just give them code for them to copy and then just implement. But like as they go, they start writing their own code by themselves. So that's the same process. It's a process thing. If you want to jump step and say you want to start creating, beautiful. That means you are very, very creative. It's a very beautiful thing. But as you are starting, it's not a bad idea to mimic other people's designs. Then once you have, you've learned the process of arranging elements correctly. We are going to talk about alignment in our future class. You will learn how to align your elements and place them in the correct positions. You are subconsciously also learning that. So that is where you will now want to start, you know, try to design your own. Are there any other questions?
Yes, ma'am. Please, I have something to say. Hello, can you hear me? Hello, good evening. Good evening. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
All right. Okay. I wanted to say that I didn't really get the gradient part when she was doing it. So I don't know if next class she can help us to like touch on that gradient again. I don't know, Miss Jacinta, are you hearing me?
I think our network is actually bad.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma.
All right. So let's ask
I was
question.
saying something. Yes, I was
Yeah,
saying
go on.
something. I was like, I didn't get the gradients part when you were trying to like make those gradients in the that frame. So I don't know, next class, maybe you can touch on that a little bit.
Okay, sure.
All right,
But this
thank you
is
so
like
much,
going to
ma'am.
be you guys assignment. But in our next class too. Is there any other question? She no so or you spoken before? Pevo. Are there questions? All right. So I think we can now start our assessment that is scheduled for today. So what what I showed you guys today, you guys can go home and try it. Even if it's not the same, just try to replicate it. I can share the screenshots with your course rep. So by next week class on Wednesday, before Wednesday, I want to, see what you've tried on our own. All right. I think I can take my leave so that your assessment can start. See you guys next week.
Thank you, ma. See you, ma.
Thank you,
Thank
coach.
you. Bye.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Thank you. You too. Let me stop recording first.